Why the power of sobriety is so much stronger than the power of addiction, and also why gold and silver really is God's currency. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sobriety and Silver. I woke up sober again this morning because I went to bed sober last night. Today is 1,138 days of continuous sobriety. It is day 174 of stacking silver, getting a little bit of gold, which is God's currency. Power of sobriety versus the power of addiction. I notice in a lot of my previous videos and even other videos that I've watched, we always hear, and I'm guilty of this, of talking about the power of addiction, active addiction. How addiction is always hiding in the shadows and just waiting for you to let your guard down and it'll pounce. And that is true. But let's talk about the power of sobriety, because sobriety, to me, is much more powerful. It has so much more strength once you get into it. Once you get into sobriety and you start living life, and I use that term a lot, living life, because that's exactly what you're doing. You may not start at your first week in sobriety, but you get motivated and you get moving. Sobriety and your clarity, your motivations, your reasons for waking up in the morning, everything changes and everything starts changing for the better. Your health, your mental state of mind, everything, every single thing improves in sobriety. So after a while, sobriety becomes so much more powerful than that pull and negativity of addiction. And I'll give you an example why. And I'm also going to give an example about the other statement I made about gold and silver being God's currency. Today, my wife and I, we had to drive about an hour away to actually look at the RV we're getting from my boss. And the reason we're so late going out there to look at it is because I trust, which is good. I trust this man at his word that this RV is in good shape, and it absolutely was. It's going to be a nice adventure. It's going to be a little tight, but my wife and I will make it work. It has just enough room that we need. But with all that being said, one of the things that I can use as an example of the power of sobriety. We walked in this RV and was looking around. We were opening cabinets. We walked back in what will be the bedroom and was looking at the mattress and blah, blah, blah. We were just looking around. And my wife said, "Oh, that's got to go." And right there on the counter in the kitchen area was a half full bottle of Jack Daniels. I never even noticed it. And even when she did point it out, the power of sobriety, I had absolutely no reaction to it. My exact words for her was, "Oh, that don't bother me. Don't worry about that." Now, obviously, that will be removed from the RV before it is delivered, which it's in the process of being delivered as I'm recording this video, so that's awesome. And I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Things are going to be just fine, and that's the power of sobriety over the power of addiction. It's almost, if you think of it like addiction being Satan, and sobriety being God. Satan has absolutely no control over God whatsoever. Even Satan at his strongest is nowhere near within the same galaxy, heaven, anything you want to think about, nowhere near the strength of God. So when I think about the power of addiction and this dark force that's always waiting to pounce when we let our guard down, that is true. But I tell you what, once you get into sobriety and you start living and going to bed sober and waking up sober and enjoying doing that, addiction slowly, and maybe not even slowly, it might happen faster than you think. It really happened really quick for me. May just fade away into nothingness. Now, if I were to lose that focus and lose my train of thought as far as what I enjoy doing every day, stacking silver, making YouTube videos, living life, if I were to let that kind of go to the wayside a little bit, then yeah, addiction could start creeping back in. And I start letting my guard down. Maybe I don't start appreciating life so much. Maybe I don't appreciate or stop appreciating sobriety. I'm the type of person, I'll tell anybody I'm sober. Honestly, I would be probably, if I haven't already done it, I would have no problem standing in a line at a grocery store, and if somebody strikes up a conversation with me, I might just tell them how long I've been sober. I have no shame with that. I will let the entire world know I'm sober now. Sobriety is so much more powerful and so much more rewarding than addiction. Once you enter into sobriety and start living sober, addiction loses its power. All right, enough about that. Right around Christmas time, Salivate Metal put out a video, and it was about gold and God, about gold and silver being God's currency. And I think his video, actually, my wife and I went back and watched it. I can't remember if it was this morning or last night. I think it was this morning. But I think he talked mostly about gold. But silver is right in there too. And the reason that I wanted to touch on this is I have proof. my own experience on why silver and gold is God's currency. Ever since I got clean and sober, I've still struggled with money. I'm still not very good at saving fiat dollars. I always find something ridiculous to spend it on, something that has no return on it. I may never be able to get past that character defect of mine without silver. So in July of last year, God said, all right, well, you're going to need this soon. So let me introduce you to this little metal called silver. But I'm going to bring you in it gradually. I'm going to get you and your wife enjoying going through penny rolls and pulling out copper. Well, somehow, and I think it was me watching Two Sheds Gabby, somehow I got from copper or penny roll hunting to nickel roll hunting. And I do remember the first time I found a war nickel in a nickel roll. You would have thought, if you were in here with me and my wife while we were doing it, you'd have thought I hit the lottery. Because at the time, that it was probably, around $1, I don't know, $1.75, I'm just going to guess, for a war nickel. But you would have thought that I hit the lottery. And that started snowballing into me and my wife stacking silver. Now keep in mind, I'm very, very bad with cash. So for 174 days, we've been stacking silver. And my guess is I haven't actually gone through and counted it in a while, but we're right around 50 ounces. And the reason this is God's money is God had me save this. I have not traded or sold one fractional piece of silver at all. Now I need some of it. Not a lot. I don't need a whole 50 ounces, but I do need to sell some of it. This was God's way of teaching me the value of precious metals, of His currency, of God's currency. I now need some of this, and God had me and showed me a way to save money that is not only fun, but engaging and super satisfying. I have absolutely no problem selling this. My wife made a comment a little while ago. She said, we got this coming up. I know you don't want to sell any of the silver, but you may need to sell a little more than we were planning. And this is my absolute thought on this. God had me save this. This is God's money. If God is telling me to sell this, I'll get more. I'm not worried about that. And the place that we're moving to, our bills are going to be cut by probably 25%. So that's going to give me even more of the fake government paper to invest in God's currency. Because now I'll have more money, or fake money, to buy gold this time. So I'm going to take a step up, if you would. Now, I'm not going to just buy gold backs. My first purchase for 2025 when it comes to gold is going to be a 1/10 eagle. I have not got it yet, but that is my goal. 1/10 eagle. I'm still going to stack my silver. I'm still going to look for deals. Not sure how much exactly of this that we need to sell, but Coin Shop Chris, I talked to him, and his advice was, with what to sell first, which ones to get rid of first. Obviously, stuff like this, no, I'm not. That's not getting sold. This probably, unless it just comes right down to it, is not getting sold. But I have no problem doing it because this is from God and it's His currency. So I will hush with that. I kind of do what I usually do and just talk. If you have not liked, shared, and subscribed, please do so. I am going to hold on to this, and we're going to do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. 1 troy ounce silver freedom seed. So I will put this in and hold this. It will not get sold. And that will be a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Right now, I think we're at like 723. So got a little ways to go, but I have the utmost confidence that we'll get into it. Or we'll get it. So if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. If you're struggling with any kind of alcoholism, or drug addiction, I encourage you from the bottom of my heart, do not give up. I don't care how many times you've relapsed. It doesn't matter how many times you tried and failed. Keep trying. Do not give up, because once that power of sobriety takes over, addiction just slowly fades away. You start loving life. You start living life. Life is just amazing. I thank you guys for sticking around. If you've stuck around for 15 minutes in this video, tomorrow, I'm not sure what we're doing. Yeah, I was sitting here messing around with copper while you guys were listening to me ramble. You guys have a beautiful and blessed night. I have every intention of going to bed sober tonight, and I'll talk to you in the next video.